Hi, this is Zero, and this is what if Naruto had a leveling system. Part 1. So, first, I wanna, tell you the basics of the leveling system. It's not, leveling system similar to the solo leveling, neither it is similar to the gamer. It will be something completely different. I read a manga about, a different kind of system to gain strength. So I will be adding this, and I will pretty much adding several leveling system that I have read upon manga into one pretty different kind of leveling system. And so let's uh, continue. Oh no, let's get started. What the hell am I saying? And so, and yeah, this will be kind of a little bit of darker turn to it, a little bit dark. So let's start off. While Naruto is already in the academy. About a year has passed since Naruto is in the academy, and now the summer break is happening. Summer or winter break, whatever you wanna say. Naruto has about 30 days of free time to do something. Okay, you get the gist of it. Let's get started. At night, Naruto went out to, just get good air because he can't just sleep that day for some insane reason. Oh, sorry, that night. That night he just couldn't sleep. It was kind of weird for him. Well, on side note, I was planning to, post this video way early, about 8 hours early, but my effing brain, I usually I wake up about at 6 a.m. I thought today is Sunday because it's Sunday for me. So yeah, I thought I'll wake up at 7 easily, but my effing brain just said nope, you won't. And I woke up at 5 a.m. and I've been awake and I've been just playing games all day. I've been playing Hitman 47 all day, and now it's 6 p.m. Yeah, I pretty much wasted the entire day. I was planning to, make the what if Deku was Iron Man or Senju and Uchiha one Naruto, but I just said, F it, I'll just make this one because I was thinking about it, and I kind of got a little bit of idea of doing it. Idea was quite fresh, so I just thought, yeah. And so let's continue. I was rambling on like a bloody idiot, and I'm kind of sitting in a very uncomfortable position. Just a sec. And so let's continue. I was rambling on like a bloody idiot. And so I pretty much, I'll just start off from the start. Naruto was unable to sleep because of some reason. He himself doesn't know that, so he went out to, get some fresh air. But, close to his home, there were few drunk, insanely drunk shinobis. Chunin, all of them. They see him. They couldn't make out of it, but they know that that's someone they hate. Since they are drunk, they can't, think clearly. Usually they would just call him a demon, but this time they followed him. And then one of them grabbed Naruto's arm while Naruto was, going close to an alleyway, and dragged him into the alley. And the four Chunin starts to beat on Naruto. Naruto couldn't speak for some reason because, knowing to Naruto, one of them pretty much hit Naruto in his throat, but he couldn't feel it yet because he was also being punched, kicked all the time almost at the same time, being beaten. Naruto couldn't speak for some reason, as I said, because he was hit in the throat. But he's just thinking, why me? Why does this always have to be me? What has ever done to them? Then he starts hearing them carefully. You demon brat, you destroyed our village. You are such an idiot. If you were smart, you wouldn't have come at night outside. And they would kick Naruto in the face, breaking his nose. At the same time, someone would go by. It was a Mm. I- Izuki, I think so. Yeah, the one who's the one who interrogates specialist would be going by. He would see this. He will instantly go and beat the shit out of and knock all the tune-ins out and grab Naruto and take him to directly to hospital because even Izuki knows the value of an Jinchuriki. And while Naruto is unconscious, he gets someone starts talking to him. Hey, in pretty computer-like voice, similar voice that Google has. If you have ever used OK Google and other stuff, or Alexa, a robotic voice would say, "Hi, do you want to be a player? Do you want to be strong? Do you want to change yourself to be better, be stronger than everyone else, be superior?" Naruto, hearing this, would say yes, but he couldn't say it, he only thought it, but it was okay for the thing that was talking to him, and then they will say, "Well done, Naruto Uzumaki." Then Naruto would hear an evil laughter, pure evil, and then it will stop, and it will say, "The deal has been made. We shall see you again, if you will." In a pretty weird way, Naruto does not understand what it meant by it, but after when and Naruto feels that he's on a bed and people are around him and there's a doctors, and then it happened about 9 a.m. Then Naruto just says, "Just shit, I'm just gonna nap." As soon as Izuku sleep, crap. As soon as Naruto sleeps, he wakes up instantaneously in a white room, pure white room, and then he wakes up in a pure white room. There are words floating around in the sky, and they say, "Naruto Uzumaki, rank 1, level 1." And then their stat, strength, agility, and what do you call? Just a sec. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to write it down so I won't forget. Then the stat comes. Stat says strength 3, agility 2, defense 1. Then there's a slot for skill. There is none. Naruto is confused. What does this even mean? He doesn't know anything, but he knows that that's him. Is it his powers or something? Then uh, the writing would change, and the same voice would say, "A new quest has been set. Will you be taking it? You can earn rewards. Killing one goblin will grant you 1 point." Killing one goblin will grant you 1 point, and then you can use those points to uh, pretty much buy skills, or you can raise your rank and level and gain stat points. And so Naruto would think, does this mean I can get stronger? He would say yes, and then Naruto will be teleported. He doesn't even know what goblin actually is. But of course, if you're hearing this, you know what goblin is. I hope so, you do. Well, and so Naruto pretty much gets teleported in a different place. That's what he thinks. But in reality, he never got teleported. He's just sleeping. His leveling system works whenever he's asleep. He cannot change anything, neither do anything when Naruto is awake. He has to be asleep to use his leveling system. He can also increase his chakra and get stronger with training as well, and leveling system can help him with that. But leveling system, as I said, can be only be used while Naruto is sleeping. And so when Naruto gets teleported there, it's a huge beautiful forest with blue skies, a sun, grass, and everything is okay. Naruto is kind of shocked. He moves around and then he gets hit by an arrow. He screams in pain and agony. The arrow hit him in his left lower leg, you know, underneath his knee. It only grazed him, didn't completely, hit him because Naruto was moving. But still, he looks back to see these weird creatures, small but green skinned and with long ears, and they are pretty weird to Naruto. And those goblins are three of them. They will run towards Naruto. One of them is carrying a knife, other one is carrying a stick, another one is just carrying, bow and arrow. Naruto doesn't know what to do, but then he remember those Chunin who beat him mercilessly because he was weak. He didn't even do anything, he was just walking, they just beat him so badly. He then realizes and looks down that he doesn't have any injury that he did in the original world. In this leveling system, if Naruto suffers an injury in outside world, the injury will not be be coming in the in his dream world, or and when Naruto suffers an injury in dream world, it won't come in his original world. But if he can heal from them, then that's he can heal. But right now Naruto's body is quite weak, so Naruto doesn't know what to do. He just runs towards the one who's carrying knife to punch him, but he can't. He fights with those three goblins for quite a long time. He ducks from one who was trying to slash him. He grabs a rock that was on the ground and hits the the second goblin with the knife. No, with the stick. The knife one he just dodged. Naruto pretty much takes the stick from him and beats him with it. And then Naruto gets hit with another arrow, but this time it went straight into his leg. Because Naruto was moving, so the goblin was not unable to aim for his any vital spots. And so Naruto look at the goblin with bow and arrow, and he will see at the corner of his eye that the goblin with the blade was about to swing it down. Naruto dodged, barely. Naruto still had the wooden stick in his hand and hit the goblin with his wooden stick in the face, and the goblin fell. And then he grabbed the knife and stabbed the goblin in the throat, killing him. Then he looked at the goblin that he was beating on. He ran towards that and killed him as well, slitting his throat. And then he looks at the archer one. Archer one has already drawn his third bow and shoots at Naruto. Naruto doesn't know what to do, so Naruto just put his both of his hand forward, and the arrow goes into his left hand. Thankfully, he's a righty. He runs towards the goblin. Naruto ducks and stabs the knife into the goblin's head, killing him. And so Naruto gets teleported back. And the system says, you have passed the test. Now it's time for the second one. And Naruto's injuries are already healed. Naruto doesn't know what happened then. A wolf appears. A huge wolf that's walking on his 2 feet. And he's looking at Naruto. Naruto's eyes are wide and he doesn't know what to do. And the wolf is carrying 2 swords. One long one and one short one. Naruto doesn't know what to do. Naruto thinks the system is trying to kill him or something. Naruto pretty much runs towards the wolf. He wants to take it off guard because he knows if the wolf start to attack him, it will be really hard because the wolf is big. The wolf is twice as big as those goblins. Goblins were at least of his own size, but the wolf is twice as big as those Chunins, but it's as strong as the Chunins physically as well. But he's not that fast, so Naruto does not have any speed advantages as well. And so while fighting, Naruto ducks his a slash from his long sword, but then short sword come to towards Naruto, and was about to, slash Naruto's eyes. Naruto slipped and he survived. Naruto was about to, crawl, run away, but the wolf grabbed Naruto's right leg and pulled him up first and bit on Naruto's right leg and ripped a chunk of meat from him. It was very little, but it was there. Naruto was screaming in pain and agony. He didn't know what to do, but at the same time, that much pain was making him go insane. So he pretty much put both of his finger into the wolf's eyes, destroying his eyes completely, making him bleed insanely. The wolf dropped him, but Naruto wasn't done. He was in so much pain, so much anger. He completely lost control of himself. He ran towards the wolf because when Naruto, stabbed, pretty much, fingered the wolf's both of his eyes. Wolf got blind, so he dropped the short sword and was grabbing his face. Naruto ran towards the wolf, grabbed the short sword and stabbed it into the wolf's stomach. But he was about to, slide it upwards, but he couldn't. The wolf has already grabbed his neck. And so it was a weird position for Naruto, because Naruto knew he would die. But at the same time, so did the wolf, because wolf was bleeding heavily. Annoying to Naruto, Naruto just cut one of the main arteries of the, wolf's body. So he was bleeding insanely heavily. So it became a battle of, what's this called? Who can survive the most, basically. I knew there's a special word for it, but I can't remember. Damn it. Well, let's continue. And so, but thanks to Naruto pretty much destroying his eyes as well, the wolf was bleeding from his eyes as well, and he couldn't see Naruto that well. And before Naruto was about to go completely unconscious, the wolf fell, and the wolf, stopped grabbing Naruto, and Naruto was gasping for air because he was about to be completely unconscious. Just in 1 second of gap, Naruto won the match. Match of who can last the most. Then the system would come. Congratulations, Naruto Uzumaki. And then all the injuries that Naruto sustained would be instantaneously healed. Naruto would be angry and pretty weary, and he doesn't know what to think, because what just happened to him was no joke. Not a single bit of joke. And so, yeah, pretty much Naruto says, what the hell was that? Then the system would say, oh, it was a test, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto said, test? You were trying to kill me. The system would say, not correctly, Naruto Uzumaki. The tasks were set for you. You were pretty much, the tasks were enough that you could win. Otherwise, if you want, you can just do it again and we can throw 10 wolves in there. Naruto's eyes would widen and would say, no, it's okay. Because Naruto is kind of realizing that this thing does not take, shit from anyone. And then the system would say, it's time for your reward, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto would say, reward? The system would say, yes, you have gained 5 stat points and 13 shop points. I completely forgot to tell the concept of shop points. The shop points are that Naruto can use to buy different skills. You will see while we go on with it. Naruto would say 13 shop points. The system would say, yes, Naruto Uzumaki, and 5 stat points. Naruto would be just like, okay, what I can do with it. The system would tell Naruto that you can put into the stat points you can put into your strength, or agility or defense, or you can put all five of them into just one, or equally distribute them. It's up to you. And with shop points you can pretty much buy different skills. Naruto would like skills. The system would tell him what the skills are. Naruto would say, first I wanna buy skills. The system would be like, what kind of skill do you wanna buy? Naruto would think to the four chonins that called him stupid demon or stupid brat. Naruto would think intelligence. The system would note. The system would say, there are three intelligence skills. One costs 5 S points, one costs 10, and the other 100. Naruto would say, so the much higher when I buy, the much better it will be. The system would say, correct, Naruto Uzumaki. And then Naruto would say, okay, I'm gonna buy the intelligence one that cost 10 points. The system would say, as you wish, Naruto Uzumaki. And then Naruto has now 3 shop points. And Naruto has bought intelligence. And so then Naruto would look at the show 3 skills that the system shows. The first one was that costed 5 shop points, was called smart. It makes you a little bit smarter. And the one that costed 10 shop points was intelligence. And the last one that cost about 100 points was super intelligence. And Naruto would say, okay, so that's that, I guess. And so the system would ask, so what kind of thing are you gonna put the points in? Naruto will look at his stats. His defense is 1. His agility is 2, and his strength is 3. He's thinking hard, very hard, but thanks to him having intelligence, it made the thinking process easier. He will say, I wanna put 1 point into strength and 2 points into agility and 2 points into defense. Wait a minute. Yeah. And so that total ups to Naruto's strength going up to 4 points, agility going up to 4, and defense going up to 3. And Naruto has intelligence level, but its intelligence skills level is still 0. But the difference of Naruto having a intelligence skill itself is showable because Naruto was able to think clearly. His thinking process has gotten more clear. And so Naruto would say, okay. Then system would say, so Naruto Uzumaki, we will tell you the rules of the system. Naruto would nod, and then the system would say, you can only come here while you are sleeping. You can still train to get stronger while you're awake, but whenever you are here, we will train you. In return, you can only train by hunting monsters, doing quests, gaining points, and using them, or buying different skills, or just using stat points. Your level and rank will be increased as you go higher up in the chain. Increase your levels. Total level you can go up to is 100. After you reach level 100, your rank will change to level 1 to level 2. Every time you go up to 1 level, you get a buff of 2 stat point in each. No, scratch that. Every time you go 1 level, you get one standpoint and uh, two shop point, and every time you go one rank above, all your stats get 2 points added into them. In return, all three of your stats will add 2 points, all of them, and you will gain about, yeah, I changed something. Whenever you go up a rank, you get +2 in all, 3 stat point, and 100 shop point whenever you go a rank above. And when you go a level above, you get 1 stat point, 2 shop point. And so Naruto nods, understands all of it, that he just need to, level up about 100 times, then he can go one rank above. And then the system would say, oh yeah, one more thing. Whenever you go one rank above, you also get a chest. Not only like, what's a chest? The system would say, oh, it's a box that will grant you any random thing, a skill, extra point, or something like that. Naruto would just nod. And so the system would say, okay, it's time for you to leave. And so Naruto would, leave the white room, and then he would start to slowly wake up. Naruto wakes up to, the sight of Hiruzen sitting next to him. Naruto looks at Hiruzen. Hiruzen says, oh, Naruto, are you okay? Naruto looks at Hiruzen completely into the eye. But Naruto's eyes are different now. They don't have the glim that it used to have. The the shine of Naruto's eyes is not there anymore. It is still there, but at the same time it's different. And Naruto's aura around him has also changed. It's like Naruto just became a little bit stronger instantaneously, or perhaps his personality change. That's what the whole old man Hiruzen Saratobi thinks. Then Naruto says, yeah, I'm fine. Naruto says that in a normal tone, like not being the Naruto what it used to be, because that Naruto realizes that what he has to do, and especially now Naruto has killed, Naruto has changed a lot, far too much. And so Hiruzen would think that he is probably traumatized or something. Hiruzen will tell him to go home and rest up for the month, because the summer holiday just started. The day it started, Naruto got, hospitalized. So Naruto went to his home. He made breakfast for himself because it was morning. Naruto's injuries were already healed, just like they always are. And so Naruto goes. Naruto pretty much, starts to understand more thanks to his intelligence quirk. People looking at him, hating him whenever he, goes through places, and it angers him that why do they do it to him? I have never done anything to them, anything at all. And so Naruto just says, whatever. And now the entire day has passed, and Naruto has been training to the shock of Naruto his own, because the system told him that he will able to train outside as well to grow stronger. So Naruto wants to grow stronger. Naruto has been doing push-ups, sit-ups, squats all the day, entire day, pretty much overworking himself, and now his entire body is aching like insane. But Naruto knows the difference of injuries in this and the other world. That's what Naruto thinks, but that's just his dream world where he gains his powers from. And so Naruto goes to sleep. He wakes up in the white room and says, hi. The system says, hello, Naruto Uzumaki. Your new quest has already arrived. Naruto would nod. Naruto would, look at his stats, but his stat has not changed. Naruto would say, my stat has not changed. Uh, the system would be like, yes, the progress you do on the outside world, you can still use it in this world, but it won't be showing it on, the system itself. And if you think that little amount of exercise should give you a little bit of buff, you're too, far above child. If you did the same exercise for a month, maybe a 1 point will be given to uh, to your strength, stamina. No, you don't have stamina stat. I never gave him a stamina stat. I'm not gonna give him that anyway. And so Naruto would kind of understand that he has to do the same exercise he's doing right now for an entire month if he wants to gain, one in his strength. Naruto thinks, if I made my exercise even harder, will I get it faster? It's technically true. If you did, the guy like exercise every day for a month straight, he will get a 5 point raise in his strength, defense, and agility. But still, the exercise still helped Naruto. And so the system would say, your quest is today to survive. Naruto would say, what do you mean to survive? The system would say, your job is simple, Uzumaki. You just have to hunt weak monsters. Monsters that are much, much more weaker, or as weak as the monster you will be facing will be much more weaker than the wolf, but as strong as, the goblins you fought. Naruto would say, those green things. The system would say, yes, pretty much. There could be thousands of them, or hundreds. It depends how you do it, how you make a strategy to beat them. Naruto would simply nod, and then Naruto will be pushed away. And then Naruto would wake up in a similar place, but this time, as soon as Naruto wakes up, he runs, hides, hides through the bushes. He's not, making sure no one sees him, but then Naruto sees someone. It's a single goblin away from his, a group about of 5 other goblins. There were total 6 goblins. They were, just scouting the area. Naruto takes the opportunity. Naruto knows that he has to, make sure that he takes out the goblin as fast as he can, because Naruto does not have any weapon, and the goblin himself doesn't have any weapon. The goblin is just has, a stick. So Naruto thinks what to do. Should I just, grab his neck until he passes out? What to do? Naruto says, just I'll deal with it later. So Naruto pretty much, goes as slow as he can to make sure that he doesn't make a single sound. But sadly for him, that goblins have higher, hearing. The goblin hears him as soon as Naruto gets too close. The goblin moves, looks at Naruto, but Naruto instantly realizes what happens. What happened? That the goblin figured it out. Naruto run towards the goblin, grabbing his throat, but annoying to Naruto himself. He didn't just grab it; he pretty much hit the goblin in the throat, and then he grabbed his face to make sure he doesn't make sound. And thankful for Naruto, they were close to a river. Naruto pretty much put Goblin's head in the river, and at the same time choking him. So Goblin was out of breath, and he was moving, making noises, but noises were not coming out because his face was underwater. Some of his goblin associate heard him, but they didn't think too much of it. They didn't think he's walking in water or something. And so then the voice suddenly stopped. But Naruto is not done yet. Naruto keeps on doing it. He wanted him dead, dead, dead. But then Naruto realized he's dead. He has gained 1 point. Naruto realized that okay. Then Naruto goes through, the goblin's pocket, and he finds nothing. So he just takes the stick because Naruto thinks something is better than nothing. And so Naruto sees a small rock and he throws it, on the other side to make some noise. two goblins hears it. Two goblins not to, the other three goblins that the us two are gonna go check that out. The three goblins nodded that the two goblins were, separated from the group. And that's what Naruto wanted, because Naruto can't take, all the group by himself. He's still a child, about of, 5 to 6 years old. I completely forgot to mention his age. Yeah, Naruto is 5 to 6 years old. I think so. That's when Naruto joined the academy. Just a sec. Scratch that. Naruto is 7 years old, because I just looked it up. Everyone in Ninja World joins the academy at 8 years old. Am I right? Yeah, pretty much. Not everyone in Naruto joins the academy at 8 years old, so he would be 9 now. Yeah, he's just 9 years old. And so Naruto pretty much, so Naruto is just 9 to 10 years old, because Naruto spent a year in the academy. So yeah, because they go to at the academy at 8, so after a year Naruto is 9. And so Naruto is 9, so yeah, he's not all that strong that he can take all those goblins by himself, so he's taking them one on one. And now we cut to the story itself. Naruto is waiting for the two goblins that got separated from other three goblins, because they were total 6, but Naruto killed one, then 5 left, then 2 left. And now Naruto is trailing the two. The two goblins are looking around. Naruto is looking at their weapon. One had a knife, and the other one also has a knife. Naruto thinks this is gonna be hard. Naruto waits for one of them to loses the grip on the loosen the grip on the knife, because they were on guard. As soon as one of them did, Naruto run towards someone and hit the guy with a wooden stick that Naruto took from the previous goblin in the face. And then Naruto, as fast as Naruto could, grabbed the knife and stabbed it into the goblin that Naruto just hit with his wooden stick. And then he takes out the knife, because he stabbed the guy in the heart, and he runs towards the other goblin who has knife. The other goblin puts his knife up for defense. Since Naruto is not naturally trained at all, Naruto tries to fight, but it's very, very hard for Naruto to fight. Very too hard, I would say. It takes Naruto about few minutes to beat him, but he does. Naruto realized that he can't beat him. It will be a draw, so Naruto runs towards the goblin one more time and takes some sand into his left hand, throws it into the goblin's eye, and stabbed him in the head. Now the goblin's friends were kind of heard them not coming back, because they were calling for them, but they didn't heard their screams or the sound of fighting, because they were too far away from them. And so yeah, pretty much then Naruto took the other two knife. Now Naruto has two knives in his hand, because first he was only using a stick, and then Naruto says it's time to take care of all three of them. Naruto goes slowly, as slow as he can, looks at the three, and then Naruto takes a stone that was below him and throws towards them with his right hand. And then now Naruto has both of his hands gripped tightly towards the knife. As soon as the rock hits the tree behind them, all of them look behind them, turning their back towards Naruto. And Naruto run towards them and stab one in the neck, stab the other one in the eye. The other one slashes downwards. Naruto dodges, but still gets a little bit scratch on his face, very small one. And then Naruto takes the knife out of the one he hit on the back neck, and stabbed the one who he stabbed in the eye. He stabbed the guy in the chest. Then he used the guy's body to protect himself from another slash that the third goblin was doing, but he pretty much stabbed his own, uh, subordinate or teammate. Naruto took out the knife and pretty much stabbed both of the knives in the other goblin's eyes, killing him. And so Naruto felt 3 points coming to him. Now Naruto has total of 4 points. Naruto does that for about 2 days straight. He hunts down food, bear or something, and eats it. And this is making Naruto's senses more sharper, making him much more adaptive to fighting with two knives. But now, in about, a single day, Naruto has managed to get his hands on a sword, but he still keeps his knife close to him. What if he lost the sword? What if this happens? So Naruto is quite cautious. He killed now about 100 goblins. And now this will be the end of this video. This part 1 of What If Naruto had leveling system. See you in the next one. Like and subscribe.